Hello and welcome to 3 with B. I'm Coach Brandolyn and this is where I coach you for 3 minutes off the cuff and on the clock on all matters important to you. And today we are going to talk about how to reduce your stress around money. So I am going to start the clock. I'm going to start coaching you. All right, so the first step in reducing your stress around money is creating a disaster plan. So I live in California. Often there are earthquakes and all these threats of fires and natural disasters, and that can be really overwhelming and can cause people a lot of stress. But what helps to reduce that stress is to create an action plan. So if this happens, then what am I going to do? And then that equips you with a sense of confidence that you can respond in the event of an emergency. It's the same thing with money. It's probably not going to happen that you're going to go completely broke. And if it does, what are you going to do in that event? So actually writing out an emergency action plan for yourself will help you to have that sense of ease around it so that you know that in the worst case scenario, you actually have an action plan for whom you're going to reach out to and what actions you're going to take to get yourself back to a place of safety. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is to realize that you're probably not in that life or death dire situation most of the time. So often we have this sense of overwhelm and panic about money, not actually because of the amount of money that's in our bank account, but because of the story that we are telling ourselves about our money. So we look at our bank account and then we go into this automatic mental narrative of, oh my gosh, what are people going to think if they know how much money I have? Nobody's going to love me if I don't have any more money. This must mean that I'm not good enough. What are my parents going to think? What's going to happen to me in the future? And this whole drama gets created and then it weighs on us and it creates this sense of panic. But what we want to do is really write out that whole mental narrative so that we can set it aside and we can separate fact from feeling. So once we have the feeling and the drama set aside, we can actually just look at what's so. How much money do I have? If you have $385 in your bank account, then great, you have $385 in your bank account. And that doesn't actually mean anything about you or about who's gonna love you or about your future. It doesn't mean anything. And once you can get real about what's so, then you can get creative. So every $1 has infinite potential. You can do an infinite number of things with $1. So an exercise that'll help you to get those creative juices flowing is to write a list of 100 different things that you can do with $1. And this is going to start the wheels in your head turning so that you can see that money is just energy. Money is worth whatever you spend it on. Money is infinite potential. So $385 is infinite potential. And once you realize that there's a whole world of things that you can do and create with that money, it'll help to eliminate or reduce the stress around it. So the steps are, number 1, create that disaster plan so that you know what you're going to do in the event of an emergency. Step 2 is to really identify your mental narrative about the money so that you can set that aside and you can just deal with what's so. You can deal with the fact, which is a lot less stressful than dealing with your drama about it. And then the last step is to really start to get creative. You have $385. Woohoo! What are you going to do with it? And how are you going to use that infinite potential to get yourself back on track? So there you go. There is your advice for how to reduce your stress around money. This was 3 with B. Comment below and let me know what you got out of watching this. And be sure to subscribe to my channel for more coaching content. Thank you so much for watching.